All sorts of first world problems have beset me. I swapped over from the blue box cutter to the red box cutter, and straight away, unknown to me but known to my Nokia 5 that's recording this, the SD card was full. And so I just got a whole series of videos of 0 bytes, including the unboxing of this little ammeter here. So, yeah, we have to sort of pick up along the way what's been happening. Firstly, I had a viewer on the channel point out the madness of my programming, so I'll put that comment up, so thank you. And the comparator wasn't working properly. It was sort of sporadic. It is working properly now, and that is due entirely to that viewer's suggestion. So that's I've still got this as a half tick though, because there's sort of like another issue emerging to do with whether or not this is sleeping. That's why I wanted this ammeter. This is a low current ammeter, digital ammeter that I picked up from AliExpress, and we missed the unboxing. That's life. But it's supposed to be able to measure, I think it's between 0 and I think 5 milliamps. So just for those low currents, and lots of decimal places here. And I've got it here between the outgoing for this chip, which is our ground, and so it's going via the ammeter and to ground on the breadboard. So theoretically, this thing is sleeping now, and of course, when it's not sleeping, and this LED goes on, of course the current jumps up. But if I take the LED out, then it should be high in the current state. So in other words, this one should be providing candle action, and then it should sleep. But it's the same. So I think I've still got some work to be done with the sleeping code. And this hasn't been calibrated, but that seems awfully high to me. 0.2 of a milliamp. We really should be measuring around the nanoamps for this guy being asleep. So possibly this hasn't been calibrated properly and we're well out anyway. But I've definitely stay with a half tick while I keep working on that code. That's the same, and it shouldn't be. All right, so now moving on to what is this video about? Well, this is 3 impossible things to happen. The first one is to get a PFS 154 without an ADC to recognize when the cap is full or not, and we've got the comparator to do that, so happy days. The next impossible thing is, can we configure the PFS 154 with the appropriate code at a very low clock rate? And I think I'm operating at around about the 15K mark, 15 kilohertz, which is quite low, and quite a low voltage. I've currently got 4 volts coming in here. There's the super cap. I don't think we need that. We can probably pull that out, and it can do its own thing. So I'll turn the power off. Yeah, let's see if it still works with the super cap going. This goes the other way around because it syncs current. So, yep, nice. Everything's still working, so that's fine. But the curious question is, what will happen overnight? How many hours can I get out of this? Because the whole project is sunk unless I can get, I don't know, somewhere like 10 hours, 12 hours would be nice from the super cap. So let's swing into that part of the project and see if we can get the big green tick for that one.
Yeah, so here's the rig set up at 13 o'clock or 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And you can see that every second-ish, we've got 1 minute of time on the video. So that's a 60 to 1 rate to try and speed this up. That's why the flickering is so frantic. Of course, that's not a candle at all. It's a supercharged candle. Behind that board, unfortunately hidden, is the PFS 154 running at 15 kilohertz, about 3.8 volts coming entirely from the super cap. The super cap is fully charged, and now we just let this thing run and see how many hours we get from it.
Right, so that's about 10 hours. I think it's a lot of time. I think I started this around about 1 p.m., expecting it to go for about 4 or 5 hours. 250 farad capacitor, 3.8 volts. And here we are at 11:15. And yeah, still going. I mean, I haven't even noticed any dimming. I wonder if I could get actually an indication of what the voltage is to see if there's been any major drop. Let's see how we can do this without upsetting too much. Yeah, I don't think you guys will be able to see it. I guess I'll just put it on the actual. Let's have a look. If I go here, so that's actually, as well color code this correctly. So there's our ground, and here is our VCC, and we've got 3.29 volts. So that's impressive. Wow, I didn't really expect that. So 3.3 volts. I'd love to know what the profile is for these capacitors, but 3.3 volts after 10 hours and 15 minutes is astonishing. I'm just going to let it run all night. So I'm going to put it back into fast forward mode and just see how long it goes. But I think I can work with this. 250 farad, 10 hours. Yeah, I think that's going to be enough. I think it's going to be great. And the next thing, of course, is to find out how we can charge it. But I've got some ideas on that, but let's just keep going and let it run out. Fantastic. Wow, 25 hours. I'm going to stop it. I mean, it's ridiculous. 250 farad gives 25 hours. The most that we really need around here is probably around 13 hours between drinks of sunlight, maybe 14. And then that would give us, yeah, look, it depends on the day, especially in winter, but a good 4 or 5 hours of light, not necessarily sunlight, but a good aspect, like the right angle onto the solar panel, and hopefully then we'll be able to maybe recharge that supercap. Now, there's been some issues with that, so let's stop this nonsense, and then we'll start and see how we might charge that supercap. And did we see the little PFS 154 sitting behind that the whole time? Yep. So the whole thing is 3.8 volts coming in from that supercap. Little PFS 154 doing its triple PWM stuff that we've seen before for 25 hours from that one thing, and still going. I'm tempted to keep it going, but honestly, it is way over spec on what I need. Anywho, let's look and see how we might charge this guy. That's the next step. I guess one last thing is to see what the discharge has been. So if we go ground on this side, and is there a nice wire there to grab? Yep. Ooh, I actually should grab this one. It's not a lot easier on this side. Yeah, wow, 3.05. That's still got a bit of juice left in it. The processor was, I think, from memory, I calibrated it at 3.8. So maybe I'll bring that down a little bit, 3.2, less energy. And obviously enough to just beat the forward voltage of the yellow LEDs, which from memory is around about 2.2-ish volts, so still well above that. I mean, they're still looking pretty bright to me. I've just turned the lab bench lights on, so it might appear a little bit, that was an interesting flicker. That's probably my fault. Yeah, so it might appear a little dim, but they're still bright to the eye. Okay, let's have a look at how we charge this guy.